Whisker Wave.
Alright. Hi, Whisker here. This is probably gonna be this is completely unscripted and probably gonna be almost completely unedited because this is probably gonna be short, to be honest. This isn't gonna break very much time wise. This is, so if you didn't know, I'm actually decently invested in the, if you don't know, this is a guy on TikTok and YouTube named Earclacks. He has a little series of so a lot of people call them weapon balls. I think that's a really good name for it, weapon balls. They fight each other. Sometimes they fight a raid boss or two. And they've been getting into some hijinks lately. And I'm just here to make a tier list on basically the current standings of where everybody is and how I think they are. So, let's start off here in order of the images. Staff. Ooh, this one's a hot one. Okay, so Staff is not is was. This is I'm going to talk about pre-nerf Staff was a menace to society. He was not even end game, mid game Staff could throw out nukes that went across the whole field. I get why he was nerfed, to be completely honest. I was actually hoping for a nerf, but the nerf in my opinion was just way too harsh and they killed him. I'm putting him not in D because he can still do pretty decent. I don't know why this tier list doesn't have an F. I'll make that in a second. I'm putting him in C. He can still do decent things. Creep row below. Let me just make an F tier. And make that. Boom. F tier added. Now, ooh, yeah, Dagger. Dagger is. I'm gonna be sincere. I've been a D1 Dagger glazer for the entirety that this series has been up. Dagger is. Okay, listen. I know they nerfed him slightly, but he's still one of the three. Yes, three. One of the three goats of weapon balls. It's basically undisputable. Yeah, some of these guys do kind of kick his ass. I'm gonna be completely honest, but he's consistent in a good way. S tier. No, not S tier. A tier. If it was pre-nerf, it'd be S tier. Bo. Okay, this is a hot take. I think Bo has some potential. No, had pre-nerf. The nerf. He would have been an A tier along with Dagger. But I'm knocking down with a B tier because the nerf kind of really killed him. He used to get a upgrade to his ability, which made him shoot more arrows. Oh, let me go back. Dagger. The more damage he does, the faster he gets. The more damage he does, the more damage his attacks do, and the wider the attack radius is, which is like a bomb. The more arrows he hits, the more arrows he shoots. He used to do it just per arrow, but he only gets one arrow per volley if he hits an arrow. And it didn't kill him, but it really hurt him. Cause now his ramp, which I like to call how fast they get to their overpowered states, now his ramp is even slower than it was before. And mind you, it was already pretty dang slow. It took a while to get to his, what I like to call, for at least Bo, his supernova state. But against Dagger especially, because I know Bo versus Dagger was a stomp. Against most opponents, he can't get to his supernova state in time to do anything real decent. The only real way, this was pre-nerf by the way, in the first battle royale, the only reason he won because he wasn't the focus. He was able to get to a supernova state and he literally just killed everybody. Neg diff. But post nerf, he's just meh. B tier. Boots. F tier. They took unarmed, right? An unarmed, who was supposed to be an S tier. They cut his hands off and now he's the worst in the game. I'm not joking. They cut. So, unarmed, but got faster and did more damage. Damage with every hit. The thing is, he didn't have a weapon. He couldn't block. Unarmed, slammed into you and did damage. And he went fast while he did it. I in his first battle, like, this guy's got some potential. And then I saw Boots, and then I started to cry. They really, please, Earclacks, for the love of all things holy, bring Unarmed in his true form back. Give my man his hands back. Sew them back on. Do whatever you can. It's just, the nerf was it was warranted, slightly. But did you have to nerf him this hard? This stuff gets crazy. Shield is the second of the three goats, because he hard counters basically anybody. Not basically. He hard counters almost everybody on here. He does it as well as he can. He doesn't do it overpoweredly well, but Bo especially, he murders Bo. I don't know. No, Bo beat Shield. If it was any other battle and Shield actually locked in for once, because Shield has a bit of a reputation of not doing enough with the tools that he has, he could destroy everybody, almost everybody on this roster. But he can't. I'm going to put him at A tier along with Dagger. Just because he can do good. He just won't. Scythe. Oh yeah, Shield. He reflects attacks. If you do damage to him, it gets reflected onto you if you hit the shield. And if you hit the shield, it gets bigger. Anyways, Scythe is borderline overpowered. And I'm gonna glaze this man to the ends of the earth. Not this man, it's a girl. I'm gonna glaze this girl to the ends of the earth, cause I think this is the first S tier. It might be the only. Actually, no, it's not gonna be the only S tier. Someone up and coming in more ways than one is in S tier for a reason. Scythe is borderline nerf worthy. If Scythe hits you enough, her poison, how she works, if she hits you, she puts poison on you, which is damage over time. The poison stacks with every hit, and every hit, she gets more points of poison. It starts at a 1, so it does 1 poison damage, then 2, then it keeps going. The more, she got decent range too. The more she hits you, the more you're screwed. She doesn't need an end game state to make sure you don't win the game. Because after 8, 9, 10 hits, it might as well be straight over. So unless you're pre-nerf Staff, end game Dagger, or who I'm going to bring up later, end game Sword, you're screwed, buddy. Spear. Now, I'm gonna be honest. Spear had, but when I first saw Spear, I was like, this guy definitely has some potential. His spear got longer with every hit he landed, but he only did 1 damage. Keyword did. I'm putting him in A tier. After a buff that makes him do more damage too, that his damage and length will scale with his hits, not to the extent of Staff and Shield, but I think that small buff was just enough to push him from where he would be in C tier up into A tier. Sword's an interesting case. Sword is like that middleman. Sword is that one guy that every newbie gets put up against to see what they're made of. And I think he does a really good job of that, because he's simple. He's got the default swing speed, I believe, and every hit he does more damage. And he has the highest damage ramp, I like to call it. He has the highest, his damage goes up fastest, faster than spear and it's not the spear and scepter or wand. Wand's a different one. Wand's like a medic. Wand heals. He's only in for battle royales. He kind of sucks. And I wish Wand was up here, because then I'd put him in D, because he had some... If Wand was up here, I'd put him in D, because he has some use, but he can't do anything on his own, other than defend himself and die. Yeah, shield, I'm putting him in C tier. Not because not C, B, I'm putting him in B tier. Not because he's bad. I'm putting him in B tier because he's an all-rounder in good and bad ways. He can do great things, and he can die immediately. Dagger versus sword. Yeah, y'all should have been there for dagger versus sword. When that dropped, I was screaming my lungs out. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm going to say, watch to the end. Now, Shuriken. Okay, some people are going to hate me for this. Not above Scythe. He's new. I know. He's basically... He's been only in 3 fights so far, I believe. And he's dogged every fight. He beat Dagger and Scythe. I'm moving him back up. He's like... he's like Potential Man. But instead of not delivering, this man delivers. The thing with Shuriken, every time he hits you, his shurikens bounce another time. That is... Spear has screen control. Shuriken has screen control. If you get what I'm saying. This man can make sure you're always getting hit. It's just like with Scythe. At the point where he's at 10, 15 bounces, it's just a war of attrition of if you can kill him fast enough, it's good. You're good. It's over. It's gonna be close, but it's over. But if you're Scythe, not if you're Scythe, if you're Dagger, or if you're Scepter or Shield, and you can't, I don't think he's fought Scepter or Shield. No, he hasn't. I'm just giving examples. If you're those two, and you can't kill him fast enough, he will wipe the floor with you. That's just a fact. I'm sorry to any of the people say, ooh, I'm switching up on Dagger. No, I'm not switching up on Dagger. Dagger's been my GOAT, D1. I've been rooting for this green little man for the entirety of the Weapon Ball series. It's just this olive green bastard has unbounded amounts of potential, and I do think he's either nerf or he's just along with Scythe, he's borderline nerf worthy. I don't think the nerf is needed, but it might be a good thing for the meta, especially as newer and newer balls are introduced. If Shuriken was nerfed, not into the ground. If I were to propose a nerf, half his speed, half his ramp speed. Make him get half a bounce, which makes it so you have to land 2 to get a real bounce. Just so it'll... No. That would kill him. 75% of a bounce. He just slightly slow him down. Because if he stays in the state, he's going to be the new GOAT. Undisputed. Unless... Oh no, not even unless. He would fully counter unarmed. If you can fully counter unarmed, you should consider... If you are a ball with a weapon that's busted and you can fully counter unarmed, you should consider yourself a god. Anyways, this is the full tier list until any new balls come out. That'll be all for now. I'll catch y'all later. yeah, I cannot wait for the next ball to come out, because for what I know, it's gonna be crazy. Whisker Wave out.
So we wouldn't have to deal with your bullshit. My problem with you is your entire existence. I wish that your parents hadn't met. Wish your body would be eaten by your pet, and at your funeral your loved ones never wept. You a bum ass bitch. I hate your face, body, brain, and your dumb ass fist. You